what has been narrated during the Samarpan talk. So this has been our experience of Samarpan and all other programs. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Probably today we are getting speakers who have physically seen Swami and experienced Swami. Maybe in days to come, we'll all have youngsters. Another purpose for which Samarpan was started is there are students here who would not have physically seen Swami. Brother Ravi Kumar will explain that angle, because today you have been able to understand through the devotees who spoke here, like how Swami has blessed them, how Swami showered his love on them, how compassionate Swami was, So all these things we have been able to understand. So maybe in years to come, there may be very few people who would have seen Swami. So you will all come and share your Samarpan experiences here, because you would have experienced here. Like he explained about that young brother from Jharkhand, how Swami blessed him here. Few years back, there was one security guard whom we had posted here. He literally saw Swami in front of crying. He was doing duty in the night and he saw the vision of Swami. So such wonderful experiences people have had, and they may also all come and share their experiences in future. I only pray Swami that please continue to shower your grace and blessings on us, that we continue to have these programs in years to come. I thank our alumni brothers for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Prayerful pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Most beloved and dearest Bhagwan, respected elders, brothers and sisters. Brindavan is a home to many firsts. For the information of all our young students, Brindavan was the place where Brahmarpanam was taught by Bhagwan for the first time. That was in the year 1976, in the month of July, when the hostel dining hall was to be inaugurated by Bhagwan. He came for lunch one day and he said, I am going to teach 3 slokas to you. And you chant this, the food that you eat will be purified threefold. That is the vessel in which it's cooked, the items which are used for the cooking, and the thoughts of the cook. All these have to be controlled if you want to have a good spiritual life. Since it's impossible for you to keep track of all this, you offer the food that you take as to God, as naivedyam, and then he blesses it, it becomes prasadam. And therefore he taught us this Brahmarpanam, and he said, the same Purushottama who taught this to Arjuna is today teaching you this shloka. Chant it every session before you have your food. And today we know the reflection of this is found in every nook and corner of the world. In my travels to various parts of the world, I have found that in devotees' homes, in schools, in educational institutions, in samitis, everywhere, Brahmarpanam is chanted. The second one, which also is very important, is the Sai Gayatri that all of us chant was revealed to Gandikota Subramanya Shastri Garu in Brindavan, in the Mandir. It was on Christmas Eve that he had this vision of the mantram, and then he chanted it in front of Swami, he taught us. And then now today you can see that being chanted all over the world. Similarly, Samarpan is another such beautiful thing which has come into our lives. It has been started by the alumni. In the month immediately after Swami gave up his mortal coil, it was in the year 2011, in May itself, that is hardly 3 weeks after that, the Samarpan started in Brindavan. This Samarpan is very beautiful from so many points of view. The first thing is, it is the Sai Bhagavatam for this age. We all read the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are told of how sage Veda Vyasa was having composed 17 Puranas. He was still not satisfied because he was a great intellectual, done so much of writing, so many Puranas. But he was not having peace of mind. He was sitting on the banks of the river when Narada Maharshi came to him and asked him, "Why are you so dissatisfied?" And he said, "Maharshi, I don't know, I have done all that I can, but I am still not getting that peace of mind which should have been the fruit of all this activity." Then Narada Maharshi tells him, "You have done lots of work from the head, but you have left out one thing, and that is singing the glories of the Leelas of the Lord. So compose Srimad Bhagavata Puranam, and this will help you get that peace of mind." And that's how the Srimad Bhagavata Puranam came into existence. And we know how sage Parikshit benefited on this. When you have to have a crash course, we spend our entire life doing various things, and suddenly when we are faced with, like Shankaracharya says, samprapte sannihite kale, when the appointed time comes, when the time for exam comes, we don't know what to do. At that time, sage Sukha comes and teaches this Bhagavata Puranam. And that is how Parikshit gets his moksha. In the earlier Srimad Bhagavata Puranam, you have accounts of various people, Prahalada, Dhruva, and so on, Satya Harishchandra, and so on. But what is beautiful about this Samarpan is, we get it directly from those who have experienced the presence of the Lord. How Swami has touched them in their lives. That is the Bhagavatam of today. Not only this, even as we go through this, in this particular age, you have lots of videos of Swami, you have a lot of photos of Swami, and along with this account helps to bridge the gap. There are a lot of students who come to Brindavan who have not seen Swami physically. But as they keep attending this Samarpan sessions, they get to know how Swami was, how Swami interacted with people, what was the impact of Swami on devotees' lives. Because you find people from various walks of life who have come to Swami and they have been touched and their lives have changed. And that is how this Sai Bhagavatam is continuing. Another beautiful aspect of this is the experience of devotees. There are at least 100 devotees who have spoken here. These are all getting documented for future. It is not only that they speak to the audience, but whatever they speak is being recorded, and this will continue. As Dakappa sir was saying, it is taken as subjects in study circles. You can imagine the ripple effect that it will have. This Samarpan the echo of this Samarpan is heard in various centers all over the country and to various parts around the globe. This is one aspect of Samarpan, where we hear the experiences of Bhagwan, we get to feel what the devotees have felt. The other aspect, which also I want to touch upon, is 100 Samarpans. We have had an example of what Samarpan is by the lady Sevadals who have prepared food, prasadam, every single Samarpan session in Brindavan. Lamu auntie and her team of Sevadal people, right from the first session, there was this discussion, should we get this food from outside? They said no. When we are there, how is it that we can allow this chance to elude us? We would like to be part of this. We would like to cook for all those who come to Brindavan for the Samarpan session. So for the 100th session, not the 100th time because they even make for the other occasions, but For the 100th session of Samarpan, they are making prasadam. And this is another beautiful example of Samarpan, because this band of Sevadal people come to Brindavan. In my experience, I have seen them for 30 years. It must have been longer. 30 years, every single morning at 4 a.m., these ladies come to this place, sweep the entire ashram, whether it's raining or whether it is cold, they don't care for it, they come here. This is another beautiful example of Samarpan that we get to see. One side we hear about Samarpan, we hear about people who have been touched by Bhagwan, and then we see what happens when you're touched by Bhagwan in these Samarpan sessions. I pray to Bhagwan that he should bless all of us with this chance to hear about his glory, because what is the use of a ear which doesn't hear about the glory of the Lord? There's that famous song that Anup Jalota sings. What is the use of a head which doesn't bow in front of him? What is the use of a lip that doesn't sing his glory and which wastes all its time in useless talk? So our lives become sanctified even as we sit here and these words permeate our being. We don't know what impact it has, but the effect of this will be seen in the years to come. We'll just end with one beautiful thing, that when this hostel was inaugurated, Swami told us, when this hostel was to be inaugurated, Swami called all of us and said, what do you want to do to commemorate this occasion? And there were various thoughts, and one boy said, Swami, we want to write about our experiences of Swami. Swami said, yeah, that's a very nice idea, very nice idea. Do you have a photograph for that book? He said. No, Swami, we don't. Come, we'll go outside. Swami took us outside, made all of us sit, and he stood amidst us and took a photograph and said, yeah, this you can put in that book. And then the next question was, all this happened within a span of, I think, 20-25 minutes. Swami said, what is the name you're giving to that book? We had not thought of the book at all. And so we had not thought of any name for the book. Swami said, you can call it Hridaya Brindavan. Because today you're sitting in Brindavan, listening about Swami and from Swami. Tomorrow, when you go out into the world, the Brindavan that you lived in will live in you. So that is the Hridaya Brindavan that you have to carry with you wherever you go, so that when you have, let's say, problems, worries, and tensions, and stress, you visit that Brindavan. And listen to that Sai Krishna speaking, and listen to the glories of that Sai Krishna, and then you will get the same peace and happiness. Praying to Swami to bless us all with this opportunity, and thanking the alumni brothers who have taken this initiative right from the word go, from the month May 2011, and who have been consistently doing this work with so much of dedication, showing what Samarpan really is. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you, Ravi Kumar sir. I just would like to share one more thing. After hearing two senior devotees speak here, whatever is being shared here as a Samarpan, there is a proposal to convert this into a text form and to be translated into Kannada and to be published in Sanatana Sarathi, Kannada, so that this can reach to the villages and the rural areas of Karnataka also. So this, I'm very happy to share this. And again, it was wonderful to hear from Ravi Kumar sir how Brindavan has been the place for many first. And as a Brindavan student, I relate to it. And truly, in my own life, I would like to share with the students here that Brindavan has been a Hridaya Brindavan for me as a student also. So Samarpan helps you people in connecting to Swami like this. Okay, without any further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Shri Keshav R. Nayak, who is the speaker for the Samarpan talk today. Dr. Keshav Nayak is an interventional cardiologist, and he has had a wonderful and illustrious academic and professional career. Just going through his resume and talking to him, I was a bit overwhelmed. Apart from being a Sai devotee and Sai family member, to really see that a Sai brother has achieved so much in professional life really inspired me, and I don't know if I'll be able to do full justice to his entire achievements, but I'll try my best to just give a very brief snippet so that we can, I know we are all eagerly waiting to listen to him, and we can get on with the main program. Shri Keshav Nayak started his education in our Satyasai school in Nandanavanam, Ooty, and thereafter in primary school in Prashant Nilayam. After finishing this, he has gone to US and he has finished his undergraduation in Haverford College and also his MD from Pennsylvania State University. He has had various wonderful professional appointments, and I'll just try to see if I can share few of those. Currently, he is an interventional cardiologist in Scripps Mercy, and prior to that, he has been working in the US Navy for almost 21 years. There has been various positions which he has occupied during this period. Amongst them, it has been staff interventional cardiologist in Sharp Memorial Hospital, staff interventional cardiologist in Radius Children's Hospital, director cardiac research in Naval Medical Center San Diego, chairman executive committee of medical staff in Naval Medical Center San Diego, medical director Vista Free Medical Camp, amongst various other designations which he has had. He is also a member of American Society of Echocardiography, fellow Society of Cardiovascular Angiography and Interventions, fellow American College of Cardiology. His areas of research include global cardiovascular diseases and health inequity, significance of PFO in diverse and mountaineers, and vascular access. He has also won various honors and awards, and few of them are SCAI Emerging Leader Fellow, Meritorious Service Medal, Associate Master Clinicians, Army Commendation Medal, Fellow Teaching Award, Resident Teaching Award, Navy Achievement Medal, Navy Commendation Medal. Apart from this, he has given numerous presentations, papers, he has participated in various seminars, books. It's just too many to recollect here. But while talking to him, what he holds very dear is that he is a student of Satyasai School in Nandanavanam and primary school, and also his association with Swami and Sai organization. Even in Sai organization, he has been a young adult coordinator in San Diego, and then center president in Northeast San Diego Asia Center. And he has also served as medical director of Sai medical camps in San Diego. More important, he has been visiting our Satyasai Super Specialty Hospital in Bangalore with the US medical teams for the past 10 years and performing medical seva. Even now as we are talking, he has completed a 10-day service in the hospital, and he has joined us here today to share his experiences. He currently lives in San Diego, USA, and is married to Srimati Suman Nayak and is blessed with 2 children. So with this, I invite Dr. Nayak to come and share his experiences.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Dear respected elders, students, teachers, brothers and sisters, a resounding Jai Sai Ram to all of you. It is a great personal honor to be speaking to you today on this auspicious occasion of the 100th Samarpan. Hearty congratulations to the Samarpan organizers for such a great offering, completing its 8th year. I want to thank all of you for this kind invitation to share my experiences. Also, I want to thank you for the very kind introduction and incredible hospitality over the last 2 days for me and my family. I know many in San Diego are actually watching live at this time. I'm so inspired by the Samarpan program that I would suggest to my San Diego friends and relatives and devotees that we should start a Samarpan program in San Diego itself. That would be a great thing to do. First, before I share my experiences, let me invoke the presence of our Guru, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, by chanting the Guru Gita mantra, which extols the Sadguru, the true Guru, with the qualities of the divine itself. Our great Guru, and I will emphasize the one and only Guru, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, who removes darkness from our hearts and takes us to the infinite self. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. I bow down to the wondrous Guru, who is the source of eternal bliss, who has true wisdom absolute, beyond dualities, who is infinite, expansive, and pervasive like the sky, eternal, pure, unchanging, whose attention is always on the divine, who sees with the eyes of wisdom, beyond thoughts and beyond gunas. I bow down to our Sakshat Parabrahman, who is our omnipotent, omniscient and omnipresent Guru, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. I pray that our dear Swami speaks now over the next hour to rekindle divine memories of our Guru and bathe you in Swami's infinite love and blessings. The story of my life with Swami is a direct result of the close association of my grandparents and parents with our dear Swami. I'm so fortunate that their hearts were touched by his love in the early 1960s, such that I was able to have so many personal experiences with Swami in my infancy itself. For that, I'm eternally grateful. I offer my sincere gratitude to my parents and grandparents. By their own example, they instilled in me, at a very young age, their devotion and love for our Guru. It is because of their intense faith that generations after generations in our family will benefit from the blessings and grace of our Guru. Central to these blessings, as our brother mentioned, was the golden opportunity to be Swami's student in Ooty, in one of the original batches in 1978. I believe that year is far before any one of you were born, probably. My parents, Ramchandra and Sheila Nayak, were settled in Warminster, Pennsylvania, USA at that time. And it's important to mention Warminster, as I will share with you later. And they raised me and my little sister, Ashwini, there. Later in 1978, when they heard that Swami was opening a new primary school in Uttakamand, they jumped at the opportunity for me to be educated in Swami's school, despite being far away from them across the other side of the world. I remember to this day my parents rejoicing when they heard over the phone from my grandfather that my application was accepted for admission at Ooty School. They jumped out of joy and danced around the dining table. I was 7 years old at the time, and me, along with my sister, who was 4 years old, joined with them, dancing around the table as if we had won the lottery. Our joy knew no boundaries. My parents' faith in Swami was so strong that they were about to send me, their 7-year-old, to a boarding school halfway across the world, all the way in South India. Just imagine, if you will, devotees here in Bangalore, if you have a 7-year-old son here and you send him to a boarding school in America, what that would be like. How can that happen? Many of my friends and colleagues ask me that very question. I believe it was Swami's will, and thankfully for my parents, their staunch devotion in our Swami made it an easy decision for them. Then, as it were, I would become one of 3 American-born boys joining Swami's school in Ooty. Although being separated from my parents, I have the most cherished memories of my formative years with Swami, my teachers, and my wonderful classmates who had joined us from all over India. Swami had built a beautiful school in a converted British mansion tucked into Ooty's Nilgiri hills, abundant with Nilgiri eucalyptus trees and tea plantations. The first day, as you can imagine, was very challenging for all of us, students and parents alike. My mother was overcome by grief about leaving me at Swami's school. Swami took all of us on a tour as he was showing off his new school. He showed us the dining room, the classrooms, even our bunk beds. The bunk beds were a novelty at the time, and we all kids were very excited about the bunk beds. But when it was time for my mother to leave me at the school, she was overcome by grief and agony. Swami right away gave her Padnamaskar, and she tells me, in that instant, all her grief and despondency vanished, completely evaporated. It fulfilled her faith in Swami, that it was Swami's will for her child to be enrolled in Swami's school. I can share with you those years Swami would come to stay with us, monitor our schoolwork in our classrooms, preside over our bhajans, eat meals with us, and make us laugh with divine humor. Indeed, Swami was our divine parent, making sure we had ample clothing, especially warm clothing for the cool, cold Ooty winters, delicious meals thrice daily, and distributing stationery for us to use for our schoolwork. Mind you, all my education then was free. It was completely free. There was no charge for tuition, uniforms, books, or food and housing. Now, being a father of 2 in the US, having completely free education for my children is unimaginable. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to Swami. I remember once Swami walking through my class when we had an assignment to write numbers. In a race to finish, many of us wrote the units position, then the tens position, and then the hundreds position, rather than writing each number as a whole. Swami quietly recognized what we were doing as he walked amongst us in each row of our class. Just imagine our monkey mind. Despite knowing Swami was walking right near us, near our desks as we were writing the numbers, we continued to write really fast to win the competition, so to speak, and impress Swami. Afterwards, Swami stood right in front of the class and gently and lovingly admonished us for taking shortcuts. He said we should never hurry because hurry makes mistakes, and wasted time and effort will lead to more mistakes. Sure enough, some numbers were incorrectly entered. He was sure not to pick on any one of us out of the whole group, but his simple message was given sweetly, with the most endearing smile, and with love, and it was clear, and it has stuck with me every day since for the past 40 years. I must take a moment now to thank all my teachers in Ooty School, Mother Varma, Muni Auntie, Warden Auntie, Dr. Amma, Roy Auntie, Nirmala, Rita, Saroja, and Prema sisters, to name a few. Their selfless service to Swami's mission and our education laid the foundation for Swami's human values in our lives. I visited Muni Auntie earlier this week when I visited Puttaparthi. She was so loving. She remembers each and every one of us Ooty students from 40 years ago. I showed her an old Ooty picture, and she named every student in the picture. She said she remembers our eyes and can recognize us just because of that. She even recognized one of my classmates who could not find himself in that photo. When I thanked her for everything that she's done for me, she actually thanked us UT students for giving her a chance to have a role in Swami's mission. She stated that if not for UT students, she would not be a teacher. Just imagine the humility and greatness of this magnanimous soul. She is a great role model for all of us. She has served Swami for over 40 years, almost all of her life, and she begins by thanking us UT students for that. That's the true practice of gratitude. She went on to tell me that because of my UT school education, my future success in life was guaranteed by Swami. I was awestruck by this statement, she said with such confidence and determination. Let me repeat that again. She said that because of my UT school education, my future success in life was guaranteed by Swami. Such were the blessings of my parents' sacrifice to send me to Swami's boarding school, far from their home, and because of it, my great fortune to be educated in Swami's school with such close proximity to Swami and have a firm foundation in Sai human values. My dear brothers and sisters, such is your own good fortune too now as current students in Swami's school. I speak to our alumni also that I know are in the audience. Your future success in life is guaranteed by Swami. What a wonderful thing to understand. Another story I can share from Uti a year later exemplifies the lesson of practicing patience that I learned directly from Swami. During the month of August 1980, a devotee had gifted Swami a new camera that had just been released, the Polaroid Instamatic camera, which, as you know, instantly produces a glossy copy of the picture just taken. Dear Swami decided to use the camera to take photos of us, his students, with him. Instead of taking group photos, which would have been done very easily and probably over 10 or 20 minutes, Swami decided to take a photo with each and every one of us students individually to make it special for us. Mind you, we were over 150 students at the time in Uti school. Can you believe the patience of our dear Swami? He stood in the same place in our Uti school garden for many hours and snapped a personal Polaroid picture with each and every one of us and then gave it to us for our memories. I was roll number 64 at the time and treasure to this day the Polaroid picture that Swami gave to me. After my picture, Swami stood for another close to 90 Polaroid pictures in the same setting. My younger sister, Ashwini, by now also a student at Uti, was roll number 96, and she also received a Polaroid picture with Swami. This reminds me the importance of patience once again, and Swami teaching me to practice patience. Patience is very important to me, especially in my profession as an interventional cardiologist. I perform high-risk procedures in patients' hearts. I carefully place stents in their coronary arteries. I open blockages in the heart arteries, especially during heart attacks. And these are tense moments. And during these critical procedures, I cannot cut corners. I cannot make hasty movements. I cannot make hasty decisions. I must practice patience as I begin and complete the procedure. Sometimes intraoperatively, there are unexpected changes, for which once again I have to practice patience and make good decisions for good outcomes for my patients. Similarly, in our spiritual life, patience is equally important. It's a very important part of our sadhana. It is a form of endurance or courage of waiting, if you will, as our faith is tested with the ups and downs of life. I remember when we asked something from Swami that we felt was very urgent in our lives, Swami would lovingly say, wait, wait, wait. I remember being right here in 1993, asking Swami for permission to rejoin his school after I had left school here, I went to high school and college, I wanted to rejoin his school. And Swami said, wait, wait, wait. Regardless of the challenging situation, we must have patience in all circumstances and hold on steadfastly to our Guru's feet to get us through our troubles. We should practice patience and have faith in our one and only Guru, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. During our school years, Swami would often ask us questions of our daily lives, the food we ate, about our schoolwork, and about our family, and sometimes even about the movies we saw during vacation. A frequent question with deep inner significance was, where are you from? Our teachers had prepared us well for this question, with a very rehearsed response being, from you, Swami, or in other words, we originated from our Guru and God himself. One day, we were sitting on the veranda as students, and Swami started asking every student, where are you from? And I was 4 students away, so Swami asked a student, 3 students removed from me, where are you from? And he really performed well. He said, from your lotus feet, Swami. So then Swami went to the next child, asked him, where are you from? He said, from your heart, Swami. And so everybody was very proud that they were answering the question well. Then the next student from me, Swami asked the same question, and he said, Swami, from you. And finally it was my turn. So he had come forth, a student, straight to me and said, where are you from? Being that I was from the US, I wanted to impress Swami. Instead of saying from you, Swami, I proudly said, Swami, I am from Warminster, Pennsylvania, United States of America. Swami had a great laugh. Despite hearing this 3 times from my own classmates, I decided to say something else. And Swami said, yes, yes, you are war minister, war minister. So he had an instant play on the words, and I think he was forecasting then, and as a primary school student, my future career in the United States military. As you know, I just recently retired out of the US Navy Medical Corps after spending 21 years of active duty service. That as well was designed by Swami. My mother was worried that I was joining the US Navy and came to Swami and asked permission. And Swami looked into the future and said, that is very good for him, let him join. And that was in 1992. So I went ahead and joined the military and then completed a 21-year career. I was able to participate in many humanitarian medical missions across the world. I spent time on the military hospital ships, performing medical seva in many Southeast Asian countries, including Vietnam. We performed many procedures on poor patients without access to care. I was even deployed to the Middle East during the war, living in a tent hospital, providing care to military soldiers and Navy sailors. Even then, I was housed in a dormitory with a bunk bed for 8 months with 50 other medical officers in the Middle East. Thanks to my retirement pension now, I'm able to come here and serve in Swami's hospital on a regular basis. Such was the blessings of Swami to endorse my joining the US military. During my Uti school years with Swami, I was also blessed for Swami to perform my Upanayam, or Brahmopadesham, or thread ceremony. Swami organized the whole ceremony from choosing the venue, which was right here in Brindavan, the auspicious time, and even inviting a group of guests from Alike, teachers from Alike. During the Upanayam, Swami materialized the ceremonial thread out of thin air. Normally the priest will dip the symbolic white thread into turmeric water for auspiciousness and purity, giving it hues of yellow. In my ceremony, Swami materialized the thread already completely soaked in turmeric, such that it had a rich yellow color and completely wet from turmeric water. It was very holy thread coming from Swami's hand directly for me. Then he instructed my dear mother and father to hold either end of the thread, and then Swami imparted the Gayatri mantra to me 3 times, with the final time ending by saying, "Good boy, good boy, good boy." I listen to this recording often to remind me of Swami's dear love for us. Do we have the recording to be able to be played? If not, I will continue. During the imparting of the Gayatri Mantra, Swami taught us a lot about the pronunciation of Gayatri Mantra, in particular, the ending, Diyo Yonaf Prachodayat. He said because the Na is contiguous with the Pa in Prachodayat, the Na and Pa merge to become Naf. So he taught me to sing Gayatri Mantra constantly. He said, chant it throughout your life. Chant it while you're walking. Chant it while you're working. Chant it while you're showering. I'm told my father-in-law here last year shared with you that I was trekking in the Himalayas last year, and he wanted me to share with you my experience there. I was able to chant Gayatri Mantra while trekking to Everest Base Camp. Using Swami's teachings, I was able to do that successfully without any injury. It was a thrilling experience and a peaceful experience, hiking to 17,854 feet. I was able to do it because I chanted Gayatri Mantra. Another lesson Swami taught me during this Gayatri Upadesh and also many interviews to follow, Swami never wasted resources. When he left one room, he would turn the fan off and the light off, go to the next room, which was right next to it, and turn the light on and the fan on in there. How often do we do that in our lives? We'll leave the fan on running all day or the light on if we are in the house. Swami told us his life is his message, and I learned so much from just observing him at all times. After the ceremony, Swami materialized a silver locket for me with Swami's bust on one side and a scripted Om on the other side. It is important to share with you the creation of this medallion, which Swami gives not only for us to remember him, but also for the recipient's protection, as it proved to be true for many years later. This is a very good segue for me to share with you 2 incredible paranormal experiences in my life. They prove Swami's omnipresence, omniscience, and omnipotence, and Swami's greatness as our Guru. I call these stories paranormal because they are beyond normal experience. They do not have any scientific explanation, especially to me as a medical doctor. By now, I had moved back to the US for high school. Swami was not too happy that I had left his school. However, he told my mother that it was okay because I had had enough good foundation in human values in his school. As it turns out, one summer, we were vacationing as a family in the United States during my high school years. While on vacation, we were swimming in a hotel pool. And I was not a very good swimmer at the time, and after diving into the pool, I was actually struggling quite a bit. I was close to swallowing water because I had ran out of my stored breath. While struggling to surface, I was able to surface in the nick of time. However, I noticed that my chain was broken in the process. And with that, my silver locket that Swami had materialized for me was lost in the pool. We right away went to the hotel employees, asked them, please, this is very important. It's the most precious thing that I have. Can you find it for us? And they tried. They tried in every which way to find it in the pool, and they could not find it. It wasn't there. And so we left our vacation very saddened to know that I had lost my silver locket in a hotel pool far away from our house. A few months passed when my mother went back to see Swami here in Puttaparthi. My mother was fortunate to be called by Swami, and she shared with Swami, Keshav lost the silver locket that you gave him. She didn't tell him when and where, and before she could say anything more, Swami then waved his hand many, many times, I'm told. I wasn't there, I was still in the US. and then brought the locket back out of thin air. He told my mother that he had to go all the way back to the US, into the swimming pool, into that filtration system, and find the same locket. And he gave it to my mother to give back to me. When I received it, I right away recognized that it was the same locket that I lost. It was the same silver locket with dents and scratches all from the filtration system from the pool. This to me proves Swami's omniscience and omnipresence. If that experience does not I totally agree. If that experience does not convince you, though, of the greatness of our Guru, the next incident in my life will surely do just that. A few years later, once again in the United States, I was intent on getting in good physical shape. I wanted to be very fit. So I bought a bicycle and started bicycling every day. And this was in my college years. And one late night, I was bicycling in our neighborhood in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Rather fast. I like to go really fast on my bicycle, and I was bicycling downhill, when I came across a lady walking on the side of the street. So I purposely went far away from her. I did not want to go riding the bicycle fast into her. So I steered away from her to the other side of the street. And suddenly she raised her hand and screamed. And that's all I remember. That was the last time I was riding my bike. The next time I regained consciousness, I found myself fallen on the ground in the middle of the road with severe pain all over my body. My bike had been damaged and was next to me on the road, and my safety helmet was split in half, also on the road next to me. There were police, and there was an ambulance, and my mother and my grandfather, who was visiting from India, was looking over me. I could hear my mother screaming, "Swami, Swami," as if something really bad had happened to me. I remarked in a daze right then to my mother, "Mother, what is going on? One minute I'm with Swami, and the other minute I'm lying here on the street. Can you explain what is going on?" I was taken to the ER in the ambulance, where all the x-rays and the CAT scans were normal. I clutched my Swami silver locket at the time, and it dawned on me that I had been with Swami during all that time, and he had saved my life. I knew it in my hearts of hearts that Swami was with me at that time. Later, we came to know that the lady in the street raised her hand because she was walking her dog on a leash. The dog happened to be wandering on the other side of the road. She was on the other side of the road. And the leash that she was raising above my head, unfortunately, caught me on the nose of my bridge. It caught me during my bike that was going so fast. It threw me off the bike with such violence that it ejected me into the air and my bike and destroyed my bike and my helmet. I convalesced easily from the accident without much injury or delay and returned to school. You should be happy to know that the dog involved in the accident was also injury-free. The dog was okay. My grandfather, a few months later, went back to India and went to Puttaparthi to visit Swami. Swami called him to the veranda and asked him how I was doing. And then my grandfather narrated the whole story of my accident to Swami and all the schoolboys on the veranda. That is when Swami interrupted my grandfather and said, when the dog leash hit the bridge of Keshav's nose, Swami held my head in his hands before I fell on the ground to protect my head and kept me safe until the ambulance arrived. Brothers and sisters, this is why I say this is such a paranormal experience for me. I was resting in Swami's lap for the entire time that I was unconscious from the concussion until the ambulance arrived. This confirmed my instant feeling that Swami saved my life right then and there and saved me from far worse severe head injury. Such is the love and compassion of our Guru, taking care of his students and his children, no matter where in the world. This truly proves to me his omniscience, his omnipresence, and his omnipotence as our Guru. I will narrate to you a few other stories demonstrating the glory of our Guru and his precious guidance throughout my life. At another time, our whole family went to see Swami in Puttaparthi. Swami called us in for an interview, and I had the good fortune of doing Pada Seva. I ran right away into the room to get close to Swami so I can sit right in front of Swami, and just lost myself in bliss staring at him and doing Pada Seva. My family continued to ask Swami questions, and he was imparting divine knowledge and practical knowledge for our lives to practice good conduct. After a while, unbeknownst to me, Swami placed both his feet on top of my hands, and I felt particularly blessed. While I was lost in this bliss, my mother decided to ask Swami to arrange my wedding. As she put it, she said exactly, "Swami, every boy in the United States has a girlfriend." Somehow, mother's global generalization in the US now applied to me. Swami's countenance, his face, suddenly changed. Remember, I'm staring at Swami the whole time, just lost in bliss. And suddenly, from a peaceful, loving face, he changed right away to a stern, strict, almost looking like Shiva, staring right at me. And then he said, "Do you have a girlfriend?" And I turned to my mother. I said, "Why are you getting me in trouble for no reason with Swami?" I shook my head, "No, Swami, I don't." And then he smiled. He gave me a few instructions to guide my behavior. He stated that when a girl comes up to you, just say hi and bye. He asked me, now that I'm in the US, he said these very words, "Be like Vibhishana in Lanka, remember Rama constantly." This was very important at the time for me because a few years later, Swami arranged my marriage to Suman, a graduate of Swami's Bal Vikas program in Mangalore, and she's a genius exponent of Bharatanatyam. She runs a very successful dance school with almost 70 students. She recently was awarded the All India Bal Vikas Alumni Excellence Award achievement in January of this year in Puttaparthi. By Swami's blessings, we have two boys, Sachin, who is 12, and Siddharth, who is 7. They are both Bal Vikas students in San Diego. I share these details with you to show you, if you obey Swami, Swami himself will design your life. He will shower his grace on you. Suman, Sachin, and Siddharth are great blessings from Swami in my life, and I thank Swami immensely. I must share with you that we have a wonderful Sai community in San Diego. Bhaktas are very devoted to Swami there. Many have not seen Swami or been to Parthi and are very devoted to him. My parents now have also moved to San Diego, and my mother runs a wonderful Bal Vikas program for the children in northern San Diego. As you know, we also have Dr. Sandweiss and his wife Sharon Sandweiss, who both are exemplary role models for us in San Diego. I know from first-hand communication with them, they practice Swami's teachings in every thought, word, and deed. For almost 40 years now, they have been having bhajans at their home every Thursday without interruption or cancellation, which is an extraordinary feat in itself. For the San Diego community, devotees participate in many seva projects, and we are praying that Swami allows us to continue our medical camps there. During the past year, our focus in Bal Vikas has been on studying the importance of gratitude. We learned so much about gratitude and its powerful and invigorating experience in our life. As a medical doctor, I can tell you research has shown that gratitude lowers your blood pressure. It improves your heart health. Both of these are very important to me as a cardiologist. As you can see during this speech, I've made it a point to pay gratitude to my teachers, to my family, to my parents, and also our Guru, Sri Satya Sai Baba. My current profession as an interventional cardiologist is also by Swami's design. During my cardiology training in the US, I was looking for guidance from Swami about whether I should subspecialize in interventional cardiology. At the time, my father-in-law, MP Pai from Mangalore, did not know of my questions for Swami, or let alone the subspecialty of interventional cardiology. Then one day we received a call from my father-in-law from Mangalore. He asked me whether I was praying to Swami about my career in cardiology, and I said yes. My father-in-law then said Swami came in his dream and told him that I should become an interventionist. My father-in-law did not know what that was and had never heard of such a subspecialty. And when he told me that, I knew my prayers were answered. Swami had once again designed my life to pursue a career in interventional cardiology. I applied for the fellowship and was able to undergo great training in the US. And now, because of that training, I have the good fortune and opportunity to come serve in Swami's hospital right here in Whitefield and in Puttaparthi for the past 10 years. Sometimes I am asked, why do I come to Swami's hospital to do seva? And I easily reply, Swami gave me free education. I owe everything to Swami. This is just a small way I can contribute. The hospital is a temple of healing, and I enjoy working there immensely. The guiding principles, as you know, of Sri Satya Sai Medicare is healthcare should be available to all, irrespective of caste, religion, nationality, or financial status. Healthcare should be free of charge, delivered with love, and the aim should be to heal the body, mind, and spirit, not just merely cure the disease. This is what I see in Swami's hospital here, in the super specialty hospital. The staff is so wonderful and loving. The patients are very needy, and we enjoy working together with the excellent hospital staff in providing excellent outcomes at no cost to poor patients. I must mention the great work of Dr. P.K. Dash and his team in Whitefield and Dr. Iyer and his team in Puttaparthi. They do extraordinary work, day in, day out, 6 days a week. They are nationally renowned teachers, and they perform wonderful procedures with great clinical outcomes. I have to share with you a story about when Dr. Dash visited us in San Diego. A few weeks before coming, I had a vivid dream of Swami. In the dream, our doorbell rang in our home. And I opened the door, and Swami was standing right there. It was as if he had come on a long journey, wearing his robe but a scarf around his neck. He then told me, I have come to move into your home. I stood there in disbelief. And then he gave me his luggage. His luggage consisted of one small, intricately carved wooden suitcase. So here I thought I was going to pick up a heavy luggage, but when I received it from Swami, it was feather light. Swami always told us, less luggage, more comfort, which now had both literal significance and deep inner significance in our lives. And just like that, Swami moved into our home as the end of the dream. A few weeks later, Dr. Dash came to stay with us and thrilled our San Diego Sai devotees, recounting his experiences with Swami as Swami's personal cardiologist. Later that evening, Vibhuti manifested at our altar in San Diego. Such was the confirmation that Swami had moved into our home. This week, working beside Dr. Dash, I asked him his thoughts on his tenure at Swami's hospital and practicing as Swami's cardiologist. He was so humble. He said it is a blessing for him that Swami allows him to work at the hospital. Dr. Dash said that we have to be obliging to Swami rather than Swami obliging us. Swami has told doctors to speak soothingly, radiating compassion and love. When talking to patients, we should smile and speak sweetly so that you can cure better and quicker the illness of the patients. Swami also said that he can easily have thousands of cardiologists come and serve in his hospital, but he has selected a chosen few who serve there without ego and know that their service in the hospital is such a great blessing for themselves. Brothers and sisters, working in Swami's hospital is self-transformative. Recently, as Brother mentioned, we completed a structural and coronary workshop with a team of 9 doctors and sonographers from the US and Italy. 5 of those team members were coming to India for the first time, and many had never heard of Swami. They bore great personal cost by paying their own travel and hotel expense to come contribute their skills and perform seva in Swami's hospital. I can share with you that they had such a wonderful experience, they want to come back again every year to serve in Swami's hospital. When leaving, they were so emotional. They said they felt the immense love and compassion in Swami's hospital. They felt spirituality in Swami's hospital. I was so impressed with how Swami's hospital and Swami's hospital staff and Swami's patients touched our lives. I can tell you another story. In 2010, when we first started these workshops, we went to Puttaparthi and presented to Swami our proposal. We actually brought a heart model, and I was able to show Swami a hole in the heart, and then I purposely took my time showing Swami how we did the procedure. I wanted all the time in front of Swami. I did not take any shortcuts. I did not make any hasty movements. I took my sweet time taking the device up in the heart model and closing the hole in the heart. Swami became emotional. We asked Swami, please bless your patients, bless our staff, bless your hospital for good outcomes for your patients. At that time, an American doctor who had never again been to the US, been to India, and was not a devotee of Swami, also was there with me presenting this to Swami. At the end, I took Padnamaskar from Swami, and so did this American doctor. I told him, how did you do this? He said he just felt inspired at that time to take blessings from our dear Swami. Such is the grace of Bhagwan Baba for everybody that comes to do seva in his hospitals. I do want to share that all our team members even ate delicious hospital canteen food, which they had never had before in their lives. For me, each experience in Swami's hospital is more than just the medicine involved. It builds love and compassion and generates great change in us. It opens our hearts to experience Swami's love for his patients and the medical team taking care of them. I thank all our patients for giving me the chance to serve them and serve at Swami's hospital. These are blessings Swami gives us when we perform seva. Brothers and sisters, our dear Swami, Sri Satya Sai Baba, manifests right now when we dedicate our lives to service to mankind. Hold on tightly to Swami, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. I implore you to do that. If you have time and the ability, please volunteer your precious time or your skills to perform seva in any way possible. There is great need for volunteerism in Swami's hospitals and institutions, and by doing that, you will certainly transform your lives and earn God's grace. Swami guarantees it. In summary, allow me to review what Swami has taught me and what I have humbly shared with you today. Number 1, practice patience. If you are patient, good things will happen to you at the right time, in the right place in your life. Number 2, practice gratitude. It will invigorate your life and make you healthier and happier. Students, promise me today that you will call your family or your teachers and thank them earnestly for how they have shaped your life. Number 3, immerse yourself in seva. Manava seva is Madhava seva. Service to mankind is service to God. Finally, allow me to propitiate our Guru again. I want to stress the importance of our Guru in our lives, dear Swami, who is truth incarnate and guides us in our lives, leading us out of doubt and darkness. Let our Guru, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, be your path, your Lord, Adore him, obey his commands, offer him your grateful homage, hold him fast in your memory. When Swami is happy with you, his joy showers grace on you. Grace becomes great happiness for you. Cultivate love and cleanse your hearts with that love. Spend that love in service, and that will make it grow. I pray that Swami allows us to catch and hold on to his feet and not allow us to let go. That too is his grace. And remove the darkness from our hearts and grant us everlasting peace and joy. Thank you for listening. You have been a tremendous audience. Jai Sai Ram.
Sairam. Thank you, Dr. Nayak, for sharing your wonderful experiences with us. When I was seated here and hearing him, one underlying point which kept coming to my mind as he kept narrating one experience after other was the aspect of Swami's omnipresence. We could learn from these experiences whether it was the aspect of the locket being retrieved by Swami and given to his mother, or he being saved from his bicycle accident, or any other experience which he said. Omnipresence of Swami was the underlying factor. And one more thing which really I take note of and I take home from this talk is, being a Sai student and having been part of Swami's institution, your future success is guaranteed. Indeed, the lives of many Sai students who have passed out from all these institutions since the early 70s until date, many people will vouchsafe for what has been said by brother today. Each person has tasted success in his own way. And success here need not necessarily mean only material success in its own complete dimension. And I would like to even remind all our younger brothers here about the point mentioned by the speaker on Gayatri Mantra and how it has helped him in his adventurous activities also. And finally, I would like to also remind all of us his motivational point of saying that we all need to take part in the seva in Satya Sai organization in whichever capacity and whichever way we can, and specifically in his case, as he says, our Sai institutions, Sai hospitals need the seva of all of us. So I think we should keep this in our mind and see what part we can play in Sai mission. Another thought which comes to mind after hearing this is this wonderful opportunity of listening to Samarpan. It is not about individuals coming and sharing here or individuals seated and listening to it. It is completely Swami's grace, Swami's will and Swami's sankalpa. And Swami is working in different dimensions with different people. I'm sure when we hear to all this Samarpan talks, either live or in YouTube or in whichever medium we are listening to it, we'll see that the same point being reminded to us again and again, that Swami works in various dimensions. So indeed, we are all blessed to be part of this exercise, and we should come in more and more numbers and participate in this Samarpan activities. I thank Dr. Nayak for having taken time and shared with us his wonderful experiences. Now I request Sri Dakapasa to honor our guest speaker with a shawl as a small token of our love. I now request Ravikumar sir to present a bouquet of flowers to our guest speaker as a small token of our gratitude. Thank you, Dakaba sir. Thank you, Ravikumar sir. We sincerely thank Satya Sai Seva Organization Karnataka and the Brindavan Management Committee for the total support to organize the Samarpan month after month. We also thank the director, warden, and all the students of Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Brindavan campus, for turning up in large numbers and making this Samarpan program a success. We thank the audio-visual team for all the arrangements that they have done today and helped us to conduct this program. We thank the Brindavan Ladies Sevadal team for the prasadam which they have been lovingly preparing month after month, as was highlighted by Ravikumar sir right at the beginning. And we also thank all the audience and all the members who have come here today to participate in this Samarpan program. I also got few announcements to make here. The next month, the 101st Samarpan Satsang session will be held here in Brindavan on 15th September 2019. We will be having Shri M.S. Prakash Rao from Vizag sharing his wonderful experiences with Swami. The next week, 25th August, which happens to be the fourth Sunday of this month, we have the monthly music program at Brindavan, One with Sai. During this, we'll be having the performance of Gana Pravina Sai sisters, Kiran and Nivi. We request all the devotees to go into Trai Brindavan for Pradakshina after the Aarti session here, and a dinner prasadam will also be served to all the devotees and all the audience here. Kindly partake of it. I now request Dr. Naik to perform the Aarti.
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आत्माधवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयो नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयो नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वियो साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल आरती अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।